Do millennial parents curse more than Gen X or boomer parents? The answer depends on your definition of profanity. In 2010, I read a book by Richard Weaver. I do not have the book, it was 2010, but I remember that he discussed different definitions of profanity. He had two. One of them was that we shouldn't be censoring swear words. We should be censoring hubris, pride, arrogance. Sort of analogous to Mr. Rogers, he was thinking about what is most damaging to children. And in Weaver's view, it is more damaging to see an arrogant person celebrated than it is to see an undraped breast for too many seconds. I did a quote thing. It can't be an absolute quote. I'm pulling it from memory from 13 years ago, sorry. There have been nude paintings and statues in public for hundreds and hundreds of years, and all of a sudden, we're super concerned about it. Why is this? Because we have ever-changing definitions of profanity. We may have different definitions of profanity in Gen Z, millennials, and millennials than in boomers and with Gen X. Cursing in front of a kid does less damage than dehumanizing that kid. Swearing in front of a kid does less damage than disrespecting the humanity of entire groups of people in front of that kid. We lived through the financial crisis of 2008 in our formative years, and we graduated into one of the hardest job markets that has existed, and where minimum wage hasn't kept up from inflation. With inflation, debt is higher than ever. It's harder and harder to get a house. We might say damn it in front of a kid, but we won't call a poor person lazy. We know that when queer kids get kicked out of their own houses by their parents for who they love, they are at higher risk in so many ways. So it would be profane to us to dehumanize them in front of our children. We might use an F-bomb in conversation, but we won't misgender or invalidate someone's identity, because it would be profane to place our comfort over someone else's life. We won't allow you to make jokes about absent Black fathers when we know it was us that built the prisons that locked them up. When we watched video of our own police killing our own citizens, our definition of profanity changed. We have lived through the Me Too movement, and so we understand the violence against women. And in so understanding, we recognize that someone showing up to school in the wrong dress code or showing too much skin is of less threat to the world than your paternalistic desire to control her. 5-year-olds doing active shooter drills is more profane than your 4-letter word.